3 tips for being a good wingman. So most of my dating career I've gone out solo, and only recently have I started going out with other guys. And it's made a huge difference, especially guys that are maybe a little higher up than you in your dating journey, right? So what I've found is a few things that have come up as I'm going out and doing approaches with another guy. And it's really made me reflect, like, okay, what am I doing well, what am I not doing well? So I'm gonna share with you guys 3 things that have helped me become a good wingman and put my ego to the side and make sure we're both getting the results we want, or at least doing the best we can. So the first one is going to be being willing to do your own thing. And what do I mean by that? Because it's like, wait, I'm going out with a buddy. How are we doing our own thing? Well, what I found, and a couple experiences have happened where I'm out with my mate and he ends up going on an instant date. He does an approach, they connect really well, and they just kind of start walking off because that's why we're doing this, right? Now, in that moment, I could be like, oh man, like we're supposed to be going out together, right? Like, should I go tell him like, hey man, can you come back and hang out with me? No, this is part of being a good wingman. So this has happened about 3 times in the last like 5 days, to be honest. Which means the dudes I'm going out with are being successful, which is what we want. So I'll give a little context. The other day, my friend and I were out in Warsaw, Poland here. We're doing some evening game. It was like a Friday night. And we both had a couple sets, talked to a few women. It was good, the vibe was good. And then he runs into this girl that they just start chatting, right? And as a wingman, what I like to do is kind of get out of the frame, right? Get out of the picture so she doesn't see me just kind of hovering or waiting or whatever, because then it's gonna potentially make her uncomfortable, realize you might be like, hey, I know what's going on here. So what I do is I stand off to the side, right? Give them their space. What happened though is they were talking and continued to talk and continued to talk. So I'm getting the hint here, okay, you know what, man, I gotta go do some other things. I gotta go maybe do some solo approaches. What I ended up doing was actually just getting some work done on my phone. So it was really productive, actually. He got to go on an instant date. I got a bunch of work done. Got to chat with Huds a little bit, actually, who you see on the channel. And it ended up being like 1 hour and 15 minutes that he was gone on this date. Would I have preferred to have continued going out with him? Of course. But as a good wingman, I support him. So I sent him a text. I'm like, killing it, brother. I'm out here when you're done. And we connected after the date was over. We got back together. So it was, it was good for me to learn that, hey, I don't always have to be in the center of attention. I don't always have to be with my guy friend, right? I can just I can just go and do my own thing, right? I did a couple of approaches myself and it ended up being all right. So the second thing that's gonna be very important is providing insight to them when they ask for it or when they're open to it that is gonna help them with their game. Because what's great about going out and being a wingman is that, and vice versa, is that you can see each other's flaws or maybe kinks in the armor from an objective standpoint because you're not the one in it. Feeling the emotion, that anxiety maybe, fear, or that joy, whatever, right? When you're doing the approach, you're just in the moment. So having someone be able to look at you from an outside perspective is really important. And then when you finish a set, you can come back and if they've been listening, they can give you feedback or kind of, give their opinion on what they saw in accordance to their game. So again, this has happened multiple times. I've done a set and maybe it didn't go so well. So my friend was like, hey, what would you think about some feedback? And I said, yeah, of course, let's hear it. And then what he shared, usually I was able to take and then bring it into the next set, and it was a much better set because of it. Because I had that feedback, I had that ability to kind of assess what I did without my emotions. Because sometimes when I'm talking to a beautiful girl that I'm attracted to and it doesn't go well, I feel that, right? And also, when you're with a wingman, they can be like, yo man, that was good. You did a lot of great things there. Things that that you might forget if you're feeling that like feeling from the rejection. So it's good because you can kind of hype each other up too. What I've learned is not to get too excited, right? Like if it goes well, be chill. If it goes bad, be chill. But at least give some support and encouragement, especially if your partner, the bro you're out with, is starting to get a little low energy, etc. So another story for context is that the other night, again, we were out and my buddy wasn't doing so well. He was getting blown out by a lot of women. He was doing the approaches, but they just weren't going the way he wanted. And I was having success, so I was in a good headspace, right? So we're walking through the city. It's getting evening, and he's bummed. He's like, man, I just gotta keep going, keep pushing. And this is where I'm like, hey man, I got a thought for you. Would you be open to hearing it? said, of course. And I said, what if you just gave up? What if you just stopped chasing women? What if you just said, today, girls don't like me? And really accept that for yourself. He goes, why is that? I'll just share, in my eyes, in my opinion, sometimes my best approaches with women have been when I just said, okay, tonight's not the night, right? I'm just gonna go home, go do my own thing. And as I'm walking home, I see a girl, I talk to her, and it's like fantastic. It's crazy, right? So what happens, right? I told my friend this. He goes, oh, okay. So as you just saw, my body language just completely changed. He took a deep breath. He's like, wow. Okay, yeah. He smiled a bit, and you could tell just the obsession of getting women that night went off into the ether. And he's like, hey man, what do you think about just like grabbing a bite to eat, right? I was like, yeah, it sounds great, right? Let's go have some fun, like just you and I, just kick it, right? Just as bros, not chasing girls, etc. And so we're heading to the mall area to get some food, and this girl walks by, and I just like give him a tap on the shoulder. He's like, yeah, okay. Obviously now his energy has changed so much. He's not, I gotta get this lay, etc. Spins around, runs back. They go on like a 2-hour instant date. It's crazy, right? He was just like present, he was masculine. She picked up on that right away. They really connected, and boom, they went on that date. So because of that, and going back to one, I got to practice wingmanning too. I just gave him a text, hey man, have a good night. Let me know how the date goes, and I went and did my own thing. He might have had that obsessive energy, right? That like, I gotta get this girl. And because he just gave up and just like, let go, he ended up having great success. And again, that came from us being willing to give each other feedback. And so number 3 is gonna be working in pairs. So when you approach 2 girls at the same time. This is something that's been new to me too, and it's been fantastic. So yesterday, we went out, we were at the grocery store. My friend was talking to 2 girls, and I got back in line because I was doing an approach with another girl. I come back, he's vibing with them. But the mistake I made was I didn't pick up on who he was vibing with. So I just started, I greeted myself, right? Made a couple jokes, made sure they knew I wasn't just like some weird dude that, that he knew that I was like, that I was his friend. But what I did is I started talking to the girl he was talking with. I just didn't even like pick up on which one he was talking with. And after he's like, oh yeah, just as a heads up in the future, you want to make sure that, we each segregate the girls, that, if I'm talking to one, you pick up the other, right? And actually I was like, oh yeah, I actually did like the other one anyway, but the other one had a better like vibe and energy, so that's why I was like more interested in talking to her. Had I known though that he was already like working with her, then I would have definitely taken off the friend, right? Because it takes a little pressure off, and then they can have the one-on-one, right? And then who knows, maybe I connect with the friend and get a number as well, get a date, whatever. So we continued the day, we were going out, and we see these 2 beautiful girls coming. I hit them, I'm like, yes, because I saw the one that was my type. We went to the pair, but instantly we segregated, right? And we each had our own little interaction with the girl, and it was awesome. He was a great wingman too, because I pointed to him the girl that I was interested in. And so he took the other one, and actually they exchanged numbers and stuff, so it worked out well for him. With her though, I got to have that one-on-one time and got to build rapport, build connection, etc. And that happened because we both took the split. So if you're going out with a pair, don't be that guy that, likes the girl your buddy's talking to, but I'm gonna interject when he has a pause, right? Oh, hey, don't do that, man. Like I went out with a guy like one of the first nights I was in Warsaw, and I was clearly like into a girl. We went to like a nightclub, etc. And then every time like I would take a step away, he would like sneak in. I was like, bro, like he didn't have the awareness that I was working with that girl, and because of it, I just kind of went off and didn't search for other girls. So, etc. Be a good wingman. It's gonna make a huge difference in your relationship with the guys you hang out with, and in turn, they're gonna want to go out with you again. It's not gonna be like, wow, I went out with Johnny here and he was just a total douche and tried to take all my girls, right? It's like, yeah, dude, that guy was a huge compliment to my life, and I want to take him out again because we have a good vibe and good energy. So guys, if you have any more ideas of what makes a great wingman, comment down below. We could talk about this for hours, but could end the video here. Subscribe to Men of Now for more top shelf dating advice from myself, from Huds, and from a lot of awesome guests we've had on our channel. We really appreciate your support and getting this channel going, and we're looking forward to bringing a new wave into the dating community. So guys, have a great one, and talk to you soon.